Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Carrie's Corner. I got to plug my lash girl. She does these dehydrated fruit and OMG are they ever amazing. Yeah, she does dehydrated fruit, and as an ex-bartender server, especially when I used to open the bar, I hated, and I can't elaborate enough, hated having to cut up fruit just because it was so tedious. And then if you get you really learn, you have paper cuts and all that stuff when you have to cut up a bunch of citrus fruit. I've been putting these in my drinks and they are just so scrumdiddlyumptious. This is not a paid promotion, okay? She ain't paying me to do this. I'm just shouting out because I give credit where credit is due. I love supporting my friends. I love supporting businesses that deserve support. And she's not even doing this as a business yet. She will. I mean, hopefully by this point, by the time you guys see this, she has started as a business and I can link it and you guys can buy it. But it is so cute. You can use it as poopery. You can boil citrus fruit on your stovetop with cinnamon sticks, vanilla sticks, all that fun stuff. And it literally, the aroma in your home. Chef's kiss. If you guys want the info, I'm going to link her. Reach out to her. As of right now, you can only contact her via her lash page. So when I link her lash page, don't get confused. She is local. She is amazing. Honestly, I love her. And every time we go there, it's funny. I'll wake up tired and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna go to this lash appointment. I'm just gonna take a nap. Nope, because me and her get talking about everything and anything, and we just talk our lives away, and I love it. So she is such an amazing human, and like I said, I love to give credit where credit is due, and I would not be shouting this out if I didn't believe in it, because I also just don't believe in doing that. I'm not here for false advertising, but I'm not gonna gatekeep her because I love her. I was about to do a heart like this. I love her and I think that she deserves to be shouted out. But yeah, especially with summertime coming up, it's amazing. Everything is done so hygienically, so clean, and I'm a germaphobe, but this is done professionally. It is done well. So I will link it, and if you guys are interested, run, jump, hop, skip, gallivant yourself to go grab some from her. I think that's my only plug. Oh, and also my voice is still raspy. Why? Because I'm still sick and I still kind of technically have no voice. Crazy, because you're probably going to see this and it's been a month since I technically was sick. But your girl records a bunch of episodes at a time because she's got to work, got to make money to fund my dreams. Yeah, so I'm still sick and I still have no voice, but it's okay. That's what we're going for this episode. We're going for the raspy, sexy, sultry, backwoods, hence why I'm wearing my camo pants vibe. I'm kidding. My outfit has nothing to do with my voice, and that's not what we're going for this episode. Anyways, I'm done rambling. Let's actually get into the episode now. Alrighty, so let's get into the body, the oddie, the body, yaddy, yaddy. I feel there's almost a spin-off of it's bananas, yana, shh. It's bananas. Okay, anyways, yeah, moving on. So, into the body oddie, guys. Today's episode is actually kind of a bit more of I guess kind of a sad one or a sulky, what was me one. We're talking about insecurities, something that we all have, we all deal with. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like, what you identify as, we all got insecurities and we all struggle with them. And two things that I can attest to, or two topics that I really thought really dove into that. I'll use myself to jump into both ideas on that. I'll talk about pre-weight insecurities and post weight loss insecurities. I don't know if that made sense in your guys' ears, but it made sense in my head. So as I've mentioned before, I'm sure I'll probably mention it again, and I kind of roll my eyes when I say that because I don't want to be that person that my weight loss is now my whole personality. For the people that is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's hard and it's a huge goal, and believe me, someone who's lived through it, when I say it, it is not easy and is not for the weak, and there is so much that comes and goes from it. But at the same time, there's also so much more to me than that, and I don't want to be that person that just I make that my whole personality and that's all I ever talk about. But anyways, in this specific situation, it works. So when I was 100 pounds heavier, which mind you, when I was 100 pounds heavier, I didn't, even looking back now, and people who know me, see me on a regular basis all the time, knew me then, knew me now, whatever, know me now. They'll say it when you think of 100 pounds heavier, I didn't look 100 pounds heavier, because I always was in the gym. I still always worked out. I did have a lot of muscle mass on me still. So, like, while yes, there was a lot of fat, that was there, excess fat, there was still also a lot of muscle. And I was still always keeping active. I still ate healthy. I just had some health issues that contributed to my weight gain, as well as just like, I guess, like bad habits and like misinformation and miseducation. But beyond that, when I was heavier, while I still loved myself, and again, I preach, loving yourself in all seasons that you're in, I loved myself in that season. You know what I mean? I still wore what I wanted to wear. I still wore my crop tops. I still wore sports bras. I still wore my tight dresses. I still wore what I wanted to wear according to what actually worked for my body shape, mind you. But I absolutely had insecurities. A big insecurity that I can speak on that, like, I mean, I kind of learned to like make fun of my insecurities, because from a young age I learned that if I make fun of myself first, I like it hurts less if someone else makes fun of it. And the amount of times that someone actually made fun of it is so few and far in between. And so really I was just hurting myself more, but again, that's a different subject and working on that with my therapist. Point being, though, the FUPA. If you don't know what the FUPA is an acronym, but it's also now kind of turned into a word in itself. FUPA stands for the fat upper panani area. And it usually sits like right here. I still have a bit of it, right there. Obviously, when I was larger, it was a lot more apparent and protruding. And like, it was to the point, like, if I was sitting down, like, if Carrie 4 years ago was sitting here right now, you best believe I'd have one of these pillows positioned right in front of me to try and hide it. Or I'd be like positioning my arms or my hands to try and like hide that area. And I let it bother me so much. Like, in photos, I was doing anything I could to try and hide it. It was a big insecurity. And like, I know it's so superficial, but like, it would stop me from like, when I was single, going on dates sometimes. Because if I was bloated or like wasn't feeling great or whatever, just ate a little too many carbs, too much bread, I would let that stop me from going and doing things because I didn't like how it looked or how I looked. I wouldn't participate in certain events or activities with friends because I was like, yeah, no, I know I'm not going to look good in that or whatever. I would wear things that specifically would try and hide that area because, again, I was unhappy with it. As well, I had an issue with like, a lot of it had to do with like my midsection area. So, like, the love handles, like the rolls, especially too like where my bra would like cut into like my area, because like even though I was larger, I still always had like a small back and I have a small waist. So like the bra size I would wear, while it would fit me, it would still create like, the bulges there and you name it. Like, A to Z, give me 10 years and I can list off all the insecurities I had about myself and everything I didn't love about myself. But at the same time, I would kind of have to force myself to be like, hey, gotta get over it, gotta still love yourself through every season. But yeah, like, pre-weight, I definitely like, I was insecure about my weight, even though like I still told myself I still love myself. I love the body I have. This body allows me to eat, to sleep, to go to work, to move, to exercise, to accomplish my goals. At the same time, I was unhappy with it because I didn't love how it looked. I didn't like that, man, losing weight is such a slow process. And like, I look back now and to where I am now, and I'm like, okay, cool. But it's like 3 years. 3 years is a long time, okay? And 3 years is a long time to not love how your body looks, especially, it's one thing to not love how your body looks and you're not doing anything about it. It's another thing to not love how your body looks and you are doing everything under the sun to try and do something about it. Like, I think that's even worse. And that is even more of a mind game. So, like, 3 years is a long time. And I mean, it was more than just 3 years. I just used the 3 year mark because, again, that's when I actually started being able to, like, track it. Well, that's when I started to track it and I could actually look at it and be like, okay, I can see, like, this is point A to point B or point A to now. Whereas, even though, yeah, I was working out and doing things before, I wasn't weighing myself, I wasn't measuring myself, I wasn't actually like tracking or keeping account of things like on a regular basis. So it's is a little skewed. Like I can guesstimate, but that's all it kind of is kind of guessing. But yeah, so it's a long time to not love yourself or not be happy with how you look. Yeah, like it impacted me in a lot of ways. It impacted me in terms of how, not even just how I saw myself, but how I thought people would see me. And I will speak to it now that, like, in some ways, and this is more of a testament to those people than myself. And if you are one of these people, that is on you, not me. But when I was larger, I definitely had people treat me differently. I had guys that were interested in me treat me differently. Oftentimes, they would try to hide me, or I kind of felt more of like a fetish, or it's just like behind closed doors they were attracted to me. But God forbid if their friends or if society or public ever found out that they were attracted to me. Like, nope, that could never happen. Perfect example of it, where behind closed doors, maybe to a few close friends and family, sure, it's fine to have me as your girlfriend or like admit or show that you like me, but to the masses, to the general public, no. No, I was a charity case, or it was like a pity party, like, oh, what was her? Oh, how nice of you. Oh, you're dating her. Oh, that's so nice. Screw that. Like, I do not need your pity party. And you know what? I am the same genuine person to a core that I was then that I am now. The only difference is my body looks a little different and I'm a lot more healed because your girl put herself through therapy. So she's a lot more healed up here and in here. That is the only thing that's changed about me. Otherwise, I am still the same genuine Carrie I was 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago to who I am now. Just a little bit more mature and a little bit more healed. And so, but like that really did also play into my insecurities. And so it's like when you, and I'm jumping into the other segment honestly, so let me not go too far into it. But point being is I had a lot of insecurities that surrounded myself in terms of how I looked post weight. And that really, really played with me and like further grew into that. Now, post weight loss, while it's like, yes, it's great. I fit into smaller sizes. It's a lot easier when I go to the mall. Like, I used to cry when I used to go to the mall. Honestly, if I had to really try on anything, even sweatpants, because everything was too tight. And the thing is, it's like I still was built with a body where my waist was still smaller in relation to my hips and my ass and my thighs. And so while the lower half of me is one size, the mid part of me is a different size. So finding jeans, a nightmare. Finding anything, a nightmare. Because if they made something that fit the thunder thighs and the badonkadonk and everything else, I'm swimming in it waist wise, and then it just looks weird. Yeah, it was just an emotional gymnastics for sure, and just further fed into my insecurities and led me to feel like, why am I doing this? I remember even being at the gym and there were people who would like make fun of me and make comments. And again, I'm not going to name drop. Karma will get you. At the end of the day, like there were people who, when I was larger, and I kind of had body dysmorphia both ways where I couldn't see my progress, and I still sometimes struggle too. Like, I couldn't see my progress on how far I've come, but I also couldn't see how big I had gotten. And I didn't realize how much weight I had on then versus now. So I kind of had body dysmorphia two ways, which again, like mentally messes with you. But yeah, I remember going to the gym and like people would mock me, and I'd have girls and guys make comments about like, oh, why is she taking pictures of herself at the gym? Nobody wants to see that. Like she has nothing to blah blah. And people wouldn't think that I would hear it, or people wouldn't think that I'd find out, but I would, and it hurt, and it further fed into my insecurities. Or people would tell me I shouldn't wear certain things, or I don't have the body to wear that, or like I'm showing too much. I don't have the body to show it. And it sucked. Now, post weight loss, those comments don't come as much anymore. I find it funny because like people take me more seriously in terms of like if they ask me about like fitness tips or like exercises or like weight loss tips, I can tell they take me more seriously in what I say, which it's like I'm not saying anything different now than I said before. I promise you, because whatever I'm saying now is what I used and what worked, and whatever I said then is what I was actively doing, which hence got me to where I am now, and it worked. So I just found it so funny when like people like almost just like wouldn't take me seriously or wouldn't believe me, and it's just like, no, like I wouldn't, like, listen, again, I'm very honest. And if I don't know, I have no problem telling you I don't know. because I'm not going to be the one that's going to get blamed for telling you misinformation. I am not that arrogant and I do not care about being right that much. I definitely can say that when it comes to like post weight loss, I don't deal with insecurities in the same way, but I've definitely gained some new ones. Some new ones I can speak to, which is like my number one insecurity that I'm struggling with right now is the tatas. You can't really tell now because I'm wearing a bra, and this bra is great and it keeps them sitting upright. But before, obviously, like at the end of the day, what are boobs? Boobs are fat, or like lots of fat tissue. And so when you lose a lot of weight, unfortunately, you also lose your boobs. And boob skin isn't like any other part of your skin on your body in terms of like for my stomach, for example, like I don't have a whole bunch of loose skin. I do have like a tiny bit, but I don't have a whole lot of loose skin where it's like I need to go get surgery to go get anything changed or altered. But boob skin, it don't snap back, okay? So when you lose all that fat in your boobs, especially when your boobs were as large as mine, they kind of just deflate and they kind of just look like deflated little raisins. Honestly, I'm sure there's plenty of mothers that can understand where I'm coming from because, when you have a child and you're pregnant and you're in your breastfeeding years, your boobs are they're sitting where you like they're looking great. They're full, they're juicy, they're plump, they're ready to provide milk. And then when you stop breastfeeding and those sweet little children suck every ounce of life out of them, you're kind of just left with blah. Okay? I don't have kids, not yet, but from what I've been told and from what I've seen and heard, I feel like that's what I'm working with right now. And I'm like, I don't even have kids and I'm dealing with this. Like, that's been a major insecurity for me because, like, if I'm at the gym and I even caught myself doing it yesterday, like, I was wearing like a tank top, but it was like maybe like a little higher cut than this. But like, when I was like touching my toes to bend over to stretch, obviously, gravity does its thing. And then, like, all I could think about is just like I'm giving the entire gym a full view of like not my boobs, but just like the stretched skin, because that's all you see is you see the skin is stretched. And I was like, I got so insecure and I instantly just stopped stretching. And I was like, hey, I'm not doing that stretch anymore. And like when I drove home, I was like, wow, like that's sad. Like that never would have been a thing before. If anything, it was just like, let me make sure my boobs all stay in and I'm not spilling out or falling out anywhere. So that's something that I've really struggled with post weight loss. And even to like my partner, like I'm always covering up and he's like, bro, I don't care. Like you're acting like I haven't seen this before. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. They don't look the same anymore. They're gross. And he like, you know what I mean? And that plays on me, that plays on him, that plays on our relationship. So that really is something that I've been struggling with. And I'm just praying for the day that I win the lottery and that he gives me the okay so I can just go get a boob job. Or I have kids, I get pregnant, have kids, have the kids, and then I can get my boob job after. Either way, it's a win-win. But I just need one of those two things to happen. So that is something that I definitely have dealt with, as well as like I'm insecure about like jiggly bits. I'm not gonna fully show you, but like, and I know everyone's arm jiggles, but I just feel like mine is worse than others. But like again, I do have a little bit of loose skin and still some loose fat, like in my arm area, like my bra bulge, upper back area here. I'm really just laying it all out for you guys. And like, even though my boobs are fully deflated, they're not fully deflated, but like I feel like I have no boobs left. I still get like this underarm bulge fat that just doesn't ever want to leave. My thighs, like because again, skin is great. It's elastic and it snaps back more or less. While I've lost a lot of weight, like the excess fat in my legs, I still have thick thighs. I still like powerhouse of legs. I always have. But especially my inner thighs, that's where a lot of like my excess weight chills. And while I've gotten a lot more confident and I'm able to wear shorts in the gym now, which I promise you I've not done for years, and that was something I was insecure about before, something that I just told myself I need to get over. And the more I realized, like, oh, nobody actually is really paying attention to my legs the way I think they are, I kind of just got over it and I started loving myself in short. But I still get very insecure about my inner thighs and I still get very insecure about how they jiggle because even though they're very muscular, even though they're very strong and I push a lot of weight, there's still a lot of jiggle there. And I try to tell myself, it's okay, Carrie, everyone has jiggle. But then I see these girls walk around the gym and I'm like, well, theirs don't jiggle like mine. And man, comparison is the joy or the thief of joy. The joy of thief of joy. And that's something I'm definitely dealing with now. And it sucks because I'll limit myself from wearing certain things or doing certain, even sometimes even doing certain exercises at the gym. Why am I like that? Why? Nobody cares. At the end of the day, we all have jiggly bits, loose skin. Some things are tighter than others, some things are looser than others, stretch marks, scars, you name it. But at the same time, like, again, we get stuck in our own mind and we let this comparison and false narrative that we build for ourselves rob us of so much. While like my last episode, I talked about being delusional, living your delulu self. Like I really do feel like you also just need to get out of your head. Like, you know what I mean? Be so delusional that like you don't even let those things bother you, because it's like insecurities, believe me, I get it. And there's people who will tell me like, "Oh, you're so confident," or like when I was larger, people would make this comment, and to this day I still don't truly understand. I'm like, was that a compliment or was that shade? And like, because I'm questioning it, it leaves me feeling like a shade. I'm not saying they're intending to be shady, it's just that's how it landed with me. Is they make comments like, wow, you're so brave for wearing that, wow, I love that you're so confident that you feel like you can wear that, or like things like that. And I'm like, I'd be like, thanks, I think. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just wearing clothes. I'm just wearing things to the gym. And it's like, I don't see you saying that to Becky over there, who's 10 sizes smaller than me, and she's wearing basically the exact same thing. So why am I so brave and confident? Like, people are like, oh, I wish I had your confidence. And I'm like, bro, I'm not confident. Like, I have so many insecurities. I think the thing is, I'm just really good at faking it, and I fake it till I make it. And I literally will like feed myself this narrative and like live in my delusion and like my fake confidence until it kind of just feels real, or like I just don't like the whispers in my head like just get so quiet that I don't even hear them anymore. If you can train yourself to do that, it is hard, and it is, I know it's easier said than done, but that is something I do to try and like quiet my insecurities. And I found that like once you can kind of do it once and then you realize, oh, but did I die? Am I okay? Like the world still went on. Like, yeah, sure, maybe your ego's bruised a little bit, but you know what? The sun still set, the moon still rose, and the sun still rose again. Okay. A new day came. We're all good. We're thriving, surviving, and moving on. So if you can kind of just get out of your head about those things, try, and like baby steps, you know what I mean? Like, again, I remember the first time I wore shorts to the gym. Oh my gosh, like I can't tell you how nervous and insecure and scared I was. Why? Why? For what? For who? Nobody cared. But there I was, scared and nervous. But then I did it once, and I was like, okay, I can do it again. And then I just kept doing it, and now it's like second nature. Like my collection of shorts, gym shorts, love it. Astronomical. I think I wear shorts more than I wear leggings now. But again, we are our own worst enemy, and we just got to get out of our heads, especially about body image, because I promise you, people are not paying attention to you nearly as much as we give them credit for. Like, we think that the world is like, this is where like our ego becomes our worst enemy, because we think that everyone's just paying attention to everything that we do, everything that we wear, how we look, blah, blah, blah. In reality, nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And like the few that do, they probably have their own insecurities, and then they're just projecting and reflecting it on you. Unless it's something major, it probably isn't even an insecurity. Like if I saw a friend had something in her teeth, I'm sure that's not one of her insecurities. She might be a little embarrassed, but I'm also that friend that's going to be like, hey girl, got a little something on your teeth. She fix it, move on. Day continues on, no harm, no foul. So like, yeah, nobody is watching you, nobody's paying attention to you, nobody cares in the way that like you think they do. And there's so much more I could dive into about like physical insecurities, but I will say that. Actually, no, I'll say one more thing. Why am I like this? Going to the gym by yourself, going to a brand new gym, like a new location, is scary because the brain likes familiar things. The brain likes consistency. The brain likes patterns. So when you're at a place where you feel comfortable, that's why your brain is okay with that. Doing something new is scary because your brain is like, we don't know what this is, we don't know like what's going to happen, like there's too many unknowns, and like that's why it gets into that panic mode, and that's what creates a lot of that fear and insecurity. So you kind of got to train your brain to be like, it's okay to try something new, it's okay to, like venture out and do something different, especially at the gym. For anybody who's struggling with this, because again, I used to struggle with this, I still do sometimes to a smaller extent. If you struggle with going to the gym by yourself, or like in the main gym, like if you don't have a gym that has, like if you have a gym that has a women's only versus a main gym, and like you keep yourself in the women's only because you're terrified of the main gym, I would say do your best to get out of that. And I say that too because women's only gyms, for the most part, aren't that great. Don't got a lot of great equipment. Like, yeah, I guess you can kind of get a lot of work. You can get your full workout in, but it's like you got to be real creative. And if you're a beginner, it's that much more difficult. And the main gym is helpful because there's so many other people, trainers, who can also A, make sure that you're doing things properly, but then also there's machines that can kind of help you out with if you're starting out and you're a beginner, to kind of build the knowledge and basis you need to go and do more advanced exercises and workouts. But I promise you, nobody is watching you the way you think they are. Even if you're doing the most outlandish workout, nobody's paying attention to you. And I say that as a people watcher. I watch people. I watch people like nobody's business because that's just what I do. Like, I'm just a people watcher. I'm not there to judge. I don't really care. But I just watch people. I like observing people. I like seeing how people interact, why people do the things they do. And there is not one time, even if I've seen someone doing something weird at the gym, where I'm like, that's bad form, or that's different, or that's weird. It's been nothing more than just that fleeting thought, and that's the end of that story. It does not go anywhere else with me. I don't go home and be like, oh my gosh, this person XYZ blah blah blah. Like, I don't care. And again, the few people that are like that do judge and do make fun of whatever, they have way bigger issues than you and I combined. So like, stop letting your fears stop you from reaching your goals. And if you are scared of going to the gym or public spaces because of what you think people are going to think of you, or people are judging you, I promise you, the mass majority of them are so focused on their own progress, growth, and goals that they're not paying attention to you. If you're worried that people are going to judge you going to the gym for looking dumb or doing something silly or whatever, they won't, because they don't care. They got their own shit going on. They're really not bothered by you. They don't have time to focus on you. Like, and I say that with the most love. Like, but yeah, you're good. Okay, that's all I have to say now about this segment. Thank you for getting into the body oddie with me. And again, suffering through my raspy voice. Alrighty, guys, let's get into the ties and the tangles and the insecurities that come along with it. Something that I found that I was very insecure about in intimate relationships, especially, was about being too much and being seen as too much. In my past, like in the last episode, I talked about being delusional and like romanticizing your relationship and your life and your love life, etc. And unfortunately, the catch 22 to that was that sometimes I felt like I was too much for my relationships, and I would hold back because I was scared of coming across as doing the most or being too clingy or doing too much. And I would hesitate, like, oh, should I share this with them? Should I call them? Like, oh, I just want to talk to them. I want to express my feelings for them. And then I would hold myself back because I'm like, ugh, like, I don't want to be seen as too much. Because in the past, I had exes that would say, like, you're doing too much, you're too clingy, or you call too much, or it's always too much of something. And I feel like, I mean, for most of my life, I've always been told I'm too much. It's been a lot of hard work and self-reflecting and just like work on myself to realize that, like, you know what? I'm not too much for the right person and the right people. And that's shown true. And the ones that I was too much for, they just weren't my tribe. They weren't my people. And you know what? They didn't deserve that part of me. Screw them. But when, like, especially when it comes to making new friends, and getting into not getting into any new relationships. I'm happy with the one I have right now. But when I was getting into a new relationship, even my boyfriend, he'll tell you that, like, even for like who said I love you first, I definitely like it was funny because he called me on my shit instantly. He was just like, I know what you want to say and you're not saying it. Because I keep putting myself in these predicaments where I'd like work myself up. I'm about to say it and then I just was like, nah, never mind. And I put it in. And he just called me out and I was like, yeah, well, what do I want to say? And then he was like, you want to say that you love me? And I'm like, no, no, I don't want to say that. And I was like, well, I only want to say it if you say it. Like, if that's how you feel, then. And he was just like, if that's how you feel, like, say it. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to say it and then not have you feel it back in return. And he's like, but if is that how you feel? And I was like, yeah. And he was just like, okay, so whether I say it first or not, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Anyways, it was this whole thing. All the more reason why I love him. But I mean, I made him say it first because I'm me and I'm stubborn. But beyond that, I was so scared. Like even to this day, he'll tell me he's like, I don't understand. I'll never understand why you didn't just say it. And I told him I was like, because I didn't want you to not say it. And he's like, but that's how you felt. And he was like, obviously I felt the same way. But even if I didn't, that's how you felt. And so I definitely got very insecure with that. And then when it comes to making new friends, I'm still very insecure. I'm very insecure of being too much. So I always kind of play like the calm, cool, collected, chill. Yeah, sure, like let's go with the flow, like what's up guys. And like it's not that I'm not that person, but like I tend to hold back on like my silly, wild, crazy, like whatever self until like I truly trust that like you can handle it or you're not going to judge me or you're not going to like call me too much. And I still do that to this day. And I wish, like, I'm hoping that I can kind of learn to be better for that. And I'm trying to just show more authentically who I am and not let my insecurity of that hold me back. But I still do. And I definitely still get very, like, insecure and, like, no, I'm not going to show you that side of me. No. Like, or like, yeah, I hold back a lot and I wish I didn't. But I do. That's me. It is what it is. But we're working on it and we're growing. And I think also, too, that, like, taking the time to learn your attachment style. So there are a couple different attachment styles. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I know that there's anxious. I know that there's secure. I know there's avoidant. And I know there's one more. I think there's four main attachment styles. And if I remember, I'll try and like quote it here. But either way, each attachment style essentially kind of like love languages, different people can bring out different attachment styles out of you. And so like with my ex, I had a very anxious attachment style because he was very avoidant. And so therefore him avoiding having conversations and avoiding intimacy and avoiding love and dealing with all that stuff caused me to become more and more anxious and worry that like I'm losing. So then it was like this very toxic, negative, whatever. Whereas with my partner now, I feel very secure. I don't feel like I need to chase down and whatever. And like if he's upset or if I'm feeling like I'm lacking on love, like I can just ask him and not feel worried about that. Or like we can have conversations. I was actually just saying to a friend the other day, I was like, it is such an underrated blessing to have a partner that you can have open and honest conversations about anything and not worry about their reaction. My last partner, I couldn't even bring up living with each other. And like we were at that point where, I guess timeline wise, where normally that's what couples start looking at doing is start moving in with each other and like taking that next step because that's naturally how most relationships progress. And even just the thought, even just saying it, the words leaving my lips, like he would get tensed up and he would like close up and wall up and be like, well, why are we talking about this? Like, no, like I don't think like blah blah blah. And then just make me feel like such an idiot. God forbid even the conversation of marriage or children. Like I couldn't have conversations with him that are necessary for a relationship to blossom and bloom. Therefore, there was no future for that relationship. Hindsight 2020, that relationship should have ended like way sooner than it did. Whereas like my partner who I have now, man, I think like not one of the first conversations, but like I was very clear and direct because obviously I'd worked on myself and I was healing. And I told him, I was like, listen, I am dating with the intention of a future. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. That's what I want. If you don't want that, let me know now and I'll skedaddle. But if you're on the same page as me, then like at least we have a foundation and we can see if we can make this thing work. And he wasn't scared off. He wasn't frightened off. He wasn't like, oh, like, he was just like, yeah, no, like, I hear you. He shared his thoughts and feelings, and it worked. And to this day now, like, I know that I could still be like, I could talk about our wedding that isn't planning or happening yet because we're just waiting for a certain thing. um, but like, I know that if I wanted to be like, babe, for our wedding, I want this, this. He's not going to be like, why are you talking about this? Or blah, blah. He probably would just be like, well, no, like, I want this, this. Or he'd be like, okay, like, whatever, babe, you know, I don't care. Or I could be like, okay, so when we have kids, like, our girl is going to do this and our boy is going to be like this. Usually he just laughs or he'll be like, whoa, 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 we're having a boy first. Or like something silly like that. But I don't get that hesitation. And there are so many people who can't have those conversations with their partners and they've been with their partner for way longer than me and my boyfriend. And I've been in situations where I've been with people, like been with exes, and I couldn't have those conversations. And like that's so weird to me. Now, like looking at it now, I'm like, ick, why would you want to be with somebody that you can't be 100% honest with? Like my boyfriend knows so much about me, it's almost like too much. We're so open and honest with each other about everything. And like obviously like there's just certain things where we just like it's not like we share every explicit detail every single day, but I know that if I needed to express something to him, I don't feel awkward or shy to do so. And that's something I was super insecure about for a really long time in the past. And then even with like friendships, I have my friends that I can be my 100% self. I can be a little moody. I can be sad. I can be happy. I can be silly. I can be whatever version of myself I am that day, and they accept me for it and they love me all the same. And for me, especially, those friendships don't come very often. I feel like oftentimes I always have to kind of put a mask on and I have to show up for people how they need me to show up or how they want me to show up. And I don't get to be my authentic self. And like, you know, through setting boundaries and through really working on myself and healing myself, I find I'm in those situations a lot less. But I still have those insecurities where like when I make new friends, I still find myself being a little bit more like reserved and closed off. And it's like then when like you know they get to know me and they blah blah blah, they're like, oh my gosh, like you're silly or you're funny or blah blah blah, and it's just like, well, yeah, like that's who I am, like that's me, but it kind of takes a bit for me to get that way. Those are the parts, and those are the parts of me that like people enjoy, my friends enjoy, and I wish that I could share more of that a lot sooner and faster. But because I've been hurt in the past, I become jaded and closed off. And so that's something I'm still actively working on is not letting that insecurity of like my past hurt and things that other people like insecurities that other people have kind of brought out of me based off of their own toxic unhealing their own ish and then projecting it on me and then me taking it in and then turning it into my own. I'm now learning to kind of stop that cycle and be like, okay, no, this is a different person, this is a different situation, so they don't deserve nor need to experience that. And then in the same breath, coming in, I can be me. And like it's kind of like take it or leave it, you know what I mean? And if you leave it, that's fine. I ain't mad at you. Like I got nothing but love for you. But if you do love it, then like great. Then at the end of the day, like you have somebody who's a genuine friend. I'm loyal to the core. I have nothing but love and support in my heart. I don't waste my time or even have the time to think about hate and jealousy and like vindictiveness and just all those toxic traits. Like I pay too much money on therapy, working on myself to be a better person, than to go revert back and then go do a bunch of shitty things that I try to like preach against. But yeah, those are things I definitely find that I become insecure with in my relationships and my ties and tangles. And I mean, it extends so much further as well. Like even with work, I think about my work relationship, same thing. Like I tend to like hold myself back because I don't want to come across as bossy or controlling or like I'm doing too much or I'm trying to be like a whatever, like a brown noser, but it's just like no, like I am who I am. If I know something, if I'm confident in something and I know that I can get something done, especially done well and efficiently and quickly, isn't that what at the end of the day, like any business would want. And if I can show that, and in a way that's not stepping on other people's toes or putting anyone else down or like dimming anyone else's shine, then why not? Why do I feel like I need to dim my own shine out of fear of what I think other people might think about me? And again, that's all that insecurity is. So I've really had to work on, and I'm still actively working on, not letting those type of insecurities get the best of me. But obviously, we all know it's easier said than done. But, just like I said before, I need to get out of my own damn head. And you need to get out of your damn head and stop letting your insecurities rule your life. Okay, so let's jump into the balance break. For this one, I kind of had two things that really like spoke out to me, especially in regards to insecurities. And one of them is kind of in a roundabout way. And that's about like ignoring your trauma. Man, can I attest to that? Don't do it. That's all I gotta say. Please, 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 if there's one thing you take from this, if anything, do not ignore your trauma and sweep it under the rug and think that everything is gonna be okay, because I promise you it will not. Okay. And by trauma, I also mean stress. I mean anything that is causing you any type of turmoil inside. Stop ignoring it. Stop sweeping shit under the rug. Stop slapping a band aid over it and thinking everything's going to be okay and you can just forget about it. Because guess what? You might think you forgot about it, but your body sure as hell hasn't. And your body has a crazy way of storing information. Your body has a crazy way of storing memories, good and or bad. Whether you like it or not, your body will make you deal with your shit one way or another. And whether that, like they say all the time, you need to, learn when to take breaks and learn when to rest, because if you don't, then your body will make you. And usually that's by becoming sick. And then guess what? You have no choice. Your ass is now stuck at home having to take a break because you didn't want to do it when you should have. Or like in my own personal way, boy, oh boy, I've learned that my body likes to manifest its stress in weight. Believe it or not, like if I'm stressed, and like, because I talk to my therapist once a month, that usually is kind of like my gauging of like, that's when I really reflect and I'm like, okay, how was my month? How was I? How was my mood? How did things go? How are my interactions? Yada, 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 the whole nine yards. When I look back, if I've had a stressful month, whether it's relationship stress, and I'm not talking about just intimate relationship, like between friendships, at work, whatever. If I had like a stressful time, or if I'm stressed about something health wise or personally, or financial stress, you name it, anything that like, or like trauma, if something bad happened, anything that's happened that's like a negative or seen as not great that I dealt with, and I dealt with in like a large quantity, I also notice, because something I also do, I also check my weight on the scale once a month, and I do my measurements once a month, because again, it's how I'm able to keep myself accountable and just get an idea of how I'm doing. I notice that I gain weight, or I gain, or like I've stubborn areas. Like my weight likes to sit in my fupa area, which I kind of spoke on what a fupa was before. My weight likes to sit in my fupa area, so I find I'm very bloated and puffy there, or just my midsection. I just look very puffy and bloated. In my face, I kind of like puff up. Like my mom used to call it like a bullfrog. Because when I was mad, when I was younger, I used to like do this weird thing with my jaw where I'd like extend my jaw outward, like I don't even know how to do it. Like I'd like clench my jaw, but it would like go forward. My lower jaw. So my mom would always just be like, "You look like a bullfrog," and then it'd make me more mad. But then I'd like tuck my jaw in because I'm like, "Ooh, I don't want to look like that." But yeah, like my face like puffs up. I noticed that, like, and until I deal with it and I like whatever, I hold on to that. Um, and like your hormones are a crazy thing, and like that stress hormone. Oh, that stress hormone. I'm telling you, you won't believe how much you're holding on to until you deal with your shit. And until I started dealing with my trauma, dealing with my stuff, and beginning to try and heal and work through things, and like it doesn't like like I use therapy. You don't have to use therapy, but for me, therapy isn't a magic eraser or a magic wand that just makes everything better, but it helps me work through my stuff. It gives me someone unbiased that I can speak to and know that my information is safe. She gives me information to help me learn and understand why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling and why I'm going through what I'm going through, but also give me the tools that way if these things reappear in my life, I now know how to handle it a bit better so I don't keep repeating this negative cycle. And like that's what therapy does. At least that's what therapy does for me. When I did start dealing with my shit, and creating healthier boundaries and becoming just like more healed and healthier on the inside, oh my gosh, a world of a difference. And I even say that again in the physical. When I say like my weight loss journey, it's been, I use the 3 year marker, 2 3 year marker, but I've been on this journey way before that. I've been trying to like keep my weight and my like physique under control because like I've always enjoyed staying healthy and fit. I've always enjoyed staying active, going to the gym, playing sports. I enjoy eating healthy. I like fruits and vegetables. Like I will voluntarily opt for a salad or fruit or anything like that over junk food. When I started dealing with my stuff, and like I can give you like some big factors that really played into effect. One, when my ex Jared passed away, I did not see a therapist right away. And without going into too many gory, eerie details, when he passed away, we were still together. I was the one who found him dead. So finding your partner's dead body is traumatizing. The way he passed away was very unsettling and very not pleasant for the human eye in itself. So then having that memory forever ingrained in my head and dealing with that. And then the backlash that came afterwards, because not all, but some of his family members were very, very mean to me after he passed away and blamed me for a lot. Again, not all. His mother, to this day, I still give her props. She is an angel and was such an angel during that whole thing. She treated me with so much love, and to this day, she still does. Wonderful human being. Cannot say enough good things about her. But he did have some family members that were very mean and made it almost like it was their duty or their journey to now blame me for something that I could not be blamed for because I had nothing to I had no part in this. I literally was just happened to be the only one that was still in his life and had a key to the home and walked in and found him deceased because no one else was checking in on him, and that's a whole other thing, a whole other story. But point being, so I had that trauma and grief and PTSD to deal with that I wasn't dealing with. And I just bottled it up, pushed it aside, and decided I'm just going to go to the gym and work and forget about it. Being in a toxic relationship with an emotional vampire that completely sucked out every last bit of happiness and soul out of me, where to the point when we broke up, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what music I liked. I didn't know what hobbies I had. I didn't even know what shows I liked to watch because everything revolved around him. And I had to change. I changed myself so much to the core. I didn't know who I was anymore. Being in toxic friendships as well with emotional vampires. If there's anything to learn about being an empathetic person, it's that you attract toxicity like nobody's business. And that's why it's that much more important for you to go and make sure you have the tools to be able to protect yourself and set yourself up for success, because you will attract those people that, and it's not that they're bad people, they just have things that they need to work on that I don't think they even realize in themselves that they need to work on. And so, yeah, like I attract very narcissistic personalities, I attract very toxic personalities. I'm also very blessed where I have a lot of beautiful, amazing people in my life. I've been blessed to be able to attract those. But unfortunately, I also am like honey, while it comes with the good, you also attract flies. So when I started dealing with those things, so I started seeing my therapist and I started dealing with my PTSD and my trauma. I didn't break up with my ex because of my therapist, but through therapy and working on myself and setting boundaries and protecting my peace, I then was able to recognize how toxic of a relationship it was and that I deserved better, and that ended. And then same thing with the friendships. I think of two specifically. And again, setting those boundaries and protecting my peace and standing up for myself and not allowing myself to be walked all over. Once those things kind of started shedding and those things cut off, I don't know what it is, but the weight just kind of started coming off by itself, baby. Like I didn't even have to. It's almost like I wasn't even trying. And people are like, "Oh my gosh, how did you lose weight so fast?" Blah blah. And I'm like, "Well, bro, I haven't. I've been. You see me posting my daily at the gym. Like, here's my like progress pic. Blah blah blah. I've been posting that. That's not something that's new, but it's like after that final straw of like that last kind of little toxic weight, once I kind of cut that loose, it's not to say that I don't have other shit that I still deal with, but like those things were, I didn't realize how much those things were really holding me back. When those things got let go, baby, the body became tea and everything else just came so much easier. And like the relationships that I did still have in my life, they became stronger, they flourished more. The world just seemed a little bit more brighter, a little bit more peaceful, and things became a little bit more calm. And I don't know how to explain it. The way how me and my therapist kind of looked at it was like, my life for a really long time was very turbulent, and it's like a constant earthquake in my life for so many years. And like imagine like big old Roman pillars constantly shaking, constantly breaking, and then slowly the earthquake stopped and the pillars just, now they're firm and I have a foundation. And like I just, that's the best way I can explain to you and kind of try to visualize and conceptualize how my life has been and how like kind of making those changes has worked. And I know this is about insecurities, but I say that because a lot of those things cause insecurities in my life, major insecurities. When my ex passed away, I didn't even want to leave the house because I was insecure about what people would think about me. Like, for, am I moving on too fast? Am I healing too fast? Am I, she looks a little too happy. She should be sad because XYZ just happened to her. Like, you name it, I was thinking it. With my ex, again, I didn't even know who I was anymore. And to tax on the fact that he cheated on me basically the entire relationship with multiple women. And on top of that, not safely and not staying protected, putting my own health at risk. There was so many insecurities that came from that. Like, is it because I'm bigger? Is it because I'm black? Because it was an interracial relationship? Is it because my age? Is it because of where I'm at career wise? Like, so many things started spiraling through my head. When I was in toxic friendships, and those toxic friendships were the same thing, it's like I was their friend, but they weren't mine, and they wouldn't show up for me. And so then I'm sitting there thinking, like, well, are they not showing up for me because, like, I'm not doing this for them, or am I not nice enough for them? Am I, did I do something that maybe made them upset them? Like, do I need to try harder? Maybe it's because, and even too, like my weight played into it. I was like, are they embarrassed of me as a friend? So many things that I would just think about and become insecure about. And once those things, I started dealing with them and either cutting them off or like setting my boundaries and just removing them out of my life, those insecurities no longer became an insecurity. And baby, your girl was healing, your girl was thriving, and it just showed in every crack and crevice that it could come through. People were telling me, like, yo, bro, you're glowing, you're shining, you're radiating, you're happy, you look peace, you look at calm, like, what's changed? And I'm like, I couldn't even give them an answer, but like now, again, hindsight 2020, I look back and it's just like, baby, your girl put in work. Work with a capital W. No, caps lock that whole word. WORK, work on herself. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, within the relationships in my life. Nothing comes easy, okay? No matter how good it is, no matter how good it looks, it is not easy. Those things that look lovely and fun and happy and whatever, it's because it took hard work to go into it, okay? Everything beautiful that you see in the world took hard work to put into it. So, with that being said, I really had to work on my insecurities in order to thrive, in order to see my full potential. And sometimes you don't realize how much something can be holding you back until you take the risk and you get over your fear and you let it go, for you to realize, oh, shit, like I'm thriving. Like I am, like, damn, I did that. And it's about taking that risk. It's about taking that plunge. It's about doing the damn thing and getting out of your head. Get out of your head. If there's anything to take from this, get out of your head, please. Because again, we can be our own worst enemy. And until you're able to find the way to change the narrative and flip the script to become your own best friend, baby, get out of your head. Because if you ain't healed, or you're not even trying to actively heal and you're not healing, then your mind is not a fun place to be. It is not a safe place to be. And you need to work on that. You need to work on you. That way, when you do go into your mind, you get into your head, it is a safe place. And it is a place that promotes growth and nurturing and promise and all that stuff. And that's what I did for myself. And I love my solitude. I love being alone. I love doing things on my own. People think I'm weird for that. Bro, I'm telling you, I will go sit in a restaurant and I will go eat a meal by myself, unbothered, unfazed, happy as can be. Okay? I will go and travel across the world, hop on an airplane, go to different locations, go on my little tours, take my little selfies or ask a stranger or set up my phone somewhere to take a photo because I love my alone time. I love being by myself. That doesn't mean I don't love the people in my life and I don't love being around them too, but I love my solitude. I love it. I love me. I love the person who I've become. I love who I'm becoming. I love who I'm continuing to become. I'm so excited to see what else is to come, how much more I can mature and grow, and what else, like where my potential can lead me. And so now, when I am left alone in my thoughts, while yeah, there are some days where it can get dark, I'm human, I have stuff I'm dealing with still. I still have my dark days. They don't last as long, and I don't sit in those feelings as long. And I'm able to also reach out to my community and my tribe to help me to get out of those dark days. It all starts with yourself. Like I said in my last episode, it's your world and you are the main character in it. Okay? So you got to make sure that you are good. Ultimately, you have to be good. You have to be good with yourself. It's a must. It's a non-negotiable. Make yourself a non-negotiable. Make yourself a priority. A priority, non-negotiable, point blank period. And like once you do that, everything becomes easier. And those insecurities become a lot more far and few in between too, because once you've realized your potential and your capabilities, yeah, of course you're gonna have your moments where you're like, ooh, like that seems scary or that seems whatever, or you're gonna have your hesitations because again, that's human nature. But you'll get out of it so much faster because it's just like, yeah, you'll sit there with the what if, and it's like, what if you fail? But what if you don't? What if you succeed? Oh my gosh, like again, it's flipping that. It's flipping it to like the positive what ifs. And so work on making your mind and your solitude and yourself a safe space. Be a safe space for yourself and everything else will kind of trickle outwards. And if you need a therapist to help that with you with that, even if it's just to get that ball rolling, do it. Okay? There's so many programs and things out there, especially in workplaces, where like they will cover therapy for free up to a certain amount of sessions. And that's how I got started with my therapist. It was through the work program. I think it was like EAP. And like at that time, my company covered 8 free sessions with my therapist. And like that allowed me to, if I didn't do well with my therapist, it allowed me to try other therapists without having to dish out hundreds of dollars each time. And then also, too, give her a fair shot because, again, people think they go into therapy and it's just like abracadabra, boom, you're healed. And it's like, no, baby, you got to do the work on yourself. Your therapist is just there to guide you. They're nothing more than just like a little help tool. Be okay with doing the work on yourself and like not letting your insecurities get the best of you. Heal what you need to heal, get over what you need to get over, work through what you need to work through, and make yourself a safe space, make your world a safe space because the world outside of your world is rough enough as it is. Okay? There's enough shit going on, there's enough evil, there's enough bad out there. You don't need to make your world bad as well. Okay? So do what you can to keep your space safe, to protect yourself and give yourself the tools and ability to protect yourself from the outside. And I promise you, those insecurities will slowly start to shed away. The more you start to face your fears, get out of your head, work on yourself, realize your potential, realize your beauty, realize just how amazing of a human you are. Baby, the potential is unlimited. But yeah, guys, get out of your head. Get out your damn head. So I'm not gonna lie. For my unapologetically selfish, I kind of touched on literally everything I had written down in my little like note section for what I wanted to speak about. And it's funny because in caps locks, in my notes on the computer, it literally says, get out your damn head and stop. Like, insecurities are nothing but a figment of your imagination fueled by your own toxic delulu, okay? And this is where delusion can be bad, all right? I need you guys to stop having the audacity to limit yourself from what you're able to achieve. And I can't say that enough. Like, I need you to, again, like, main character energy, I need you to understand that, like, you are that person. You have potential. You are amazing. Okay? If other people can see your potential, why the hell can't you? Are you blind? Do you need glasses? Because if you do, there's opticians, boop boop de boops, okay? Eye doctors. Go see them. Go get your eyes checked if that's the case. But at the end of the day, I need you to realize that, like, you are the shit. Point blank, period. Okay? You might not be the shit in my world. You might not be the shit in Tom and Jerry's world. But you know what? You're the shit in your world, and that's all that really matters. So stop worrying about what everyone else may or may not think and worry about what you think about yourself. Because that's the real issue here. Why do you not love yourself enough? Why are you sitting there building all these delusions and stories and thoughts about what people may or may not be thinking when in reality, they're just thinking about did they shit yesterday and what are they having for breakfast tomorrow? I'm sorry, you're not the main character in other people's story. So stop thinking that you are and stop letting your fears get the best of you. Like, respectfully, so what? Like, so what? And I say that from somebody who's been bullied, okay? I've been bullied my whole life. I was bullied in elementary. I gave you guys a story in the past about the girl who made it very aware that I had thunder thighs. I was bullied in junior high. I don't think I really touched on this, but like, I used to eat lunch in teachers' classrooms because I was so scared of encountering my bullies and coming across them in the hallways. I would even walk down certain hallways in my school. I would take the long way to certain classes because I was so terrified of certain people because their lockers were there. And I remember I would go home bawling. My mom can attest to this about me wanting to switch schools and not wanting to go to school anymore because of how mean these people were to me and how much I hated my life. And I think that was the first time I actually expressed to my mom that, like, I didn't want to live anymore. And, like, as a mother, it hurts me to know the hurt that I put her through because I saw it on her face and she instantly started crying. And, ooh, we're about to get emotional. But point being, okay, I know what it's like to be bullied. I know what it's like to have people talk shit about you. I know what it's like to have people who are supposed to be in your corner talk shit about you. I have family members that bully me and talk shit about me and put me down. And, like, I mean, do I talk to them anymore? Nope. And that's on them, not on me. Point blank, period T. But I know what it's like to have people talk shit about you and have people pick you apart and make you maybe not the main character, but for sure a character in their story and not a good one. And it sucks. But you know what? I'm here, ain't I? I'm still thriving. I'm still standing. I'm still surviving. And I'm still moving on from it. And I'm not letting that hold me back. Because where are they now? Don't know, don't care. Where am I? Right here, doing what I do best. Me. And not worrying about where they're at. And if I look at how far I've come and all that I've been able to accomplish, baby, I'm proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. And I don't care what they think. I don't care. You know what? If anything, they'll probably just be jealous because they're probably still toxic and unhealing. I hope they're not. I hope they find help. Whether it's Jesus, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Allah, whether it's whatever, I don't care who you need to go find. Go find someone to go get help. But baby, at the end of the day, that's your problem, not mine. I am healed. I am growing. I am blessed. And I am happy. And I wouldn't want it any other way. And so, with that being said, I want the same for you. And what that entails is getting out of your damn head. Stop letting your insecurities get the best of you. Start realizing your potential. Stop letting fear dictate your life and holding yourself back because you're scared to look a certain way or you're scared of what people might think about you. Who cares? Because in reality, are these people that you intend on having in your life in the next 5 years? Probably not. And even if they are, again, I can say I have family members. Even if I don't talk to them, I mean, realistically, they're still in my life, whether I like it or not. And I still have to encounter them one way or another, whether I like it or not. But do I care? No, because I have the luxury of then when I don't want to deal with them, I don't. And if they want to sit there and stay being toxic, then be toxic, baby. That's on you. But over here, we're all about being healthy, we're all about growing and we're all about moving forward. Okay, we're on that upwards forward trajectory. We ain't going low down here, and we ain't getting set back or pulled back. So yeah, it's like really all I had to say. And actually, hold on, pause. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this again. I just read my notes and I realized that in balance break I didn't say this. I guess I could say this in unapologetically selfish, because it is about being selfish and about choosing yourself, but you need to also be comfortable with being vulnerable with yourself. A lot of y'all don't know how to be vulnerable with yourself. Listen, I'm the queen of hate being vulnerable. I tell my therapist this all the time. She'll be like, I need you to be more vulnerable, Carrie. And I'm like, no, that's where I bump the brakes. I don't like being vulnerable. Vulnerable gets you hurt. Vulnerable gets you run over. Vulnerable exposes you to people to manipulate you and hurt you. And she's like, yes, but it also allows you to build relationships with people who do love you, do care about you, and do want to nourish you and protect you. And I was like, dang it, I hate when you're right, Angela. You're always right. Like, dang it. But she's right. So you got to learn to be vulnerable. And before even being vulnerable with anyone else, be vulnerable with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Come to realization, like, okay, you know what? Mentally, I'm not okay right now. Mentally, I'm in a dark place. I need to take this time to step back and step away from people. And you know what? Maybe I need to say no. And that's okay. Shit, I did that last month. I was antisocial AF. People were messaging me being like, are you good? Are you mad at me? Or blah, blah. Like, you seem a lot more reserved. You name it. They were saying it. And I was like, I'm just protecting my peace right now, guys. I had a lot going on, and I need to recluse, and I need to take this time to just like re-energize and protect myself. And then you know what? Those people were like, all good. I'm just glad you're okay. Because those are healthy people. Those are people you need in your life. And that's what happens when you set boundaries and work on yourself and stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself. You end up with people who respect that and love you for that. And then therefore you don't feel bad for taking that time to yourself to do what you need to do to be right again. But that also takes, again, being honest with yourself and being like, okay, you know what? I recognize that, like, I'm not okay. I'm stressed. I'm upset. I'm sad. I'm angry. Maybe you do need to talk about it. Maybe you don't. That's fine. Either way, be honest with yourself, be vulnerable, take that time to really dig through your thoughts and be like, okay, I'm mad, but why am I really mad? I'm mad because I'm disappointed. Okay, why do I feel disappointed? I'm disappointed because I was excited and looking forward to doing this, or yada yada yada. However you need to break it down, mind map it, talk it out. I don't care if you got to record an episode or record a video of yourself talking just to get it out, and then if that gets deleted, it never goes anywhere. At the end of the day, deal with your stuff, guys. And then after you deal with it, build a bridge and get over it, and stop letting that be your whole personality. Things happen. It sucks. I'm not saying that don't take the time to grieve and heal and do what you need to do, but at the same time, life does go on, and it's not fair to yourself that you are now limiting yourself from your potential and your growth. That's it. That's all for being unapologetically selfish and a tad little smidgen of the balance break as well, because you know your girl forgot to mention it before. Okay, it's time for power to the people. Okay, so I got two for you guys again. Another one was a poll, and another one was a prompt. And I asked a question, and I got your guys' response. I'm excited because like both of these totally touch on everything that I was just speaking about. The first one, I'll do the poll. The question I asked was, what is more difficult, being vulnerable and honest with yourself or with others? 55% of you said yourself, and 45% of you said others. I think Carrie 5 years ago would have agreed with myself aspect. I mean, I would probably like kind of lie and tell myself that I think it's others, but realistically it was myself, because again, I wasn't dealing with my shit. I If something bad happened or if I was upset about something, I would just pack it on down, sweep it under the rug, push it away, box it up, and I wouldn't deal with it. I was such an angry human for that. Like, man, I would blow up. I'd get upset. Oh, here comes Nipsey again. Are you gonna come say hellos this time? Guys, this is Nipsey. Okay, sorry guys, focusing. So I would say before it was being more vulnerable with myself was difficult. Now I would say it's others, you know what I mean? I'm fine with being vulnerable with myself. What I don't love is being vulnerable with others, because again, like I said, I say it to Angela all the time, my therapist, being vulnerable with others does nothing but get me ran over and people use and abuse me. Right, buddy? This is Nipsey's debut, guys. Everyone say hello to Nipsey. Nipsey Hustle. Huh, you pretty Bengal. Oh, and the booty in the face. That's wild. That's wild, sir. Take me out for dinner first. Speaking of that, I gotta go clean his litter box. I take him out for dinner and treats. He doesn't even take me out. Yeah, he's crazy. Sorry, guys, again. But I can attest to both, but I would say now for me, I would definitely fall in the others category. It's definitely more harder for me to be vulnerable with others. The second question I asked for the power to the people is what is an insecurity you have? So this is what the people had to say. Not having my eyelashes, my lack of financial success, honestly, feel like I'm never enough, definitely looks, belly for specifically, I think to be specific is what they meant to say. Weight, being good enough for the people around me, body oddy, being seen as dumb, and that I didn't graduate the same time as everyone else my age. So I attest to a lot of these. Not having my eyelashes, I know that sounds silly, but I don't really care. Like, I'm okay with myself without eyelashes. I do like myself with eyelashes, hence why I get them done because it's a high maintenance task that I have to do once a month. So I get that. But I'm also at a point where it's like, I'm okay with myself how I am. I'm okay with how I look. I don't need to have my lashes done. I like to have them done, hence I do. And because I can, I will. But if I couldn't, it isn't the end of the world. Financial success, I definitely understand because money unfortunately rules the world. It's hard to do things. You need money to travel, you need money to enjoy things, to eat good food. Yeah, I understand financial success 100%. There's a lot about looks and weight. I totally test that too cuz like while like I said, you need to love yourself in every season, there's nothing wrong because you love yourself in every season. That's also why you want better or more for yourself. Being good enough for the people around me, oh, I feel that one to the core. That's actually one of the biggest reasons why I got myself into therapy because I recognized within myself that I was not okay and I want to be as good as I can. I recognize that I want to be the best person I could be for the people around me and for myself. And it's hard because like you'll if you worry about not being good enough, you'll never be good enough. It's just an impossible like limit that you're setting for yourself. Being seen as dumb and then also like I didn't graduate at the same time. I get that. Nobody wants to look stupid, but also at the same time, I feel like if you can kind of just like learn to laugh at yourself and be okay with it, it kind of helps. And I didn't graduate at the same time as everyone else my age, man. I feel that like that's something I'm still insecure about. Like I struggle because I have people on my social media. Everyone's at different stages in their lives that are married. They have kids. They're graduated from like their second degree program. And again, just doing different things in their lives where it's like, I think we've all done it at some point where we think like, I'm going to be married. I'm going to be done school at this age. I'm going to be graduated university or college at this point or whatever it is. Life doesn't always go as we plan. And then when we see someone else kind of living the goal or dream that you set out for yourself and you're not living it, it's kind of like, damn. Everyone's journey and story is so different. And like I've been saying so many times, like you are the main character in your story and therefore be the main character. You know what I mean? And your story is not going to match up with other people's story. So for our confidence catalyst, the word I used is diffidence, and that is the lack of confidence in oneself. Don't be diffident, guys. Do not be diffident. Love is a choice you make from moment to moment. So you need to make the choice to love yourself every moment and every chance you can. As some other quotes that I found in regarding to like just being confident and not letting your insecurities get the best of you is nobody cares about your insecurities as much as you do. And it's true. Nobody does. Also, insecurity kills all that is beautiful, and that is so true. Man, there's so many hopes and dreams that are lost because of insecurity. So don't let your insecurities rob you. And the last quote is, you are so used to your features, you don't know how you look to a stranger. And it is so true, man. We all get stuck in not realizing how beautiful you can be to someone else. Try and see yourself from someone else's lenses. Okay, guys, that's it for me and Nipsey. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode, joining me in my corner. I'm so excited for you guys to see what I have in store for you in June. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I have some amazing guests lined up. I'm so excited for you guys to meet these people because they are awesome. And as well, just we're going to get into some really interesting conversations. I have a lot of different people, different walks of lives, different stories, and I'm excited for you to be able to experience that as well. So, yeah, remember, get out of your head. Be the main character in your own story. Don't let your insecurities get the best of you and build a bridge and get over it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. I love you a long time. Until next time.